Hi everybody, my name is Matt McCleskey, McLeskey. I am your instructor for Introduction to Sociology this summer. Welcome to my apartment. Can you see it? Wait, hold on. There we go. That's my Led Zeppelin poster. When you teach online, you get to teach from your bed, which is pretty awesome. So welcome to Introduction to Sociology. Starts tomorrow. This is your introductory video, not your video for chapter 1, just to be specific so no one gets confused. How to start? I'm a doctoral student in sociology. I've taught a number of classes: sociological theory, urban sociology, social science research methods, criminology. This is my second time teaching Introduction to Sociology, so thankfully, compared to my winter term students, you're not guinea pigs, and so there should be fewer problems. Not that there were any disasters during the winter, but I'm not going to tell you I fully knew what I was doing either, because there's a lot of technical minutia that goes on with teaching online. So now I think, I should have it in the bag, which would make life easier for you guys. My doctoral dissertation is on low-income tenants' experiences with lead poisoning, particularly in terms of housing instability, landlord conflicts. So that's what I study. For those of you who maybe study social work or public health, the epidemic that is lead poisoning will not be news to you. So that's what I study. It's my big project that I will be getting my PhD based on. So this class, I think it'll be fun. I ease you in slowly. This is your textbook, Sociology in Action. I think it's a good, accessible textbook. I think it's easy to read. It has a lot of real-world examples that I think make sociology accessible. Sociology is a particular form of thinking and a particular form of research that allows you to not just think critically, but think differently about how the world operates. And I think this textbook makes that way of thinking that can be somewhat complicated accessible. Two textbook authors, Kathleen Corrigan I know, and I've met at a couple conferences. She's pretty cool. She teaches in New Jersey. Maxine Atkinson, I have no idea who she is. But this is a good textbook. I like it. I've used it. This will be the third time I've used it. The first time for Intro to Online, I taught during the winter, and then I taught Intro face-to-face, like regular classroom style, this spring, and I use it for that too, so I'm fairly familiar with the textbook now. And I like it. I think it's good. Everything we do for this class will be on UB Learns. So if you're not in UB Learns, you need to get there. UB Learns will have a combination of, in terms of what you have to read and do, discussion board assignments, some short papers, and your exams, which will be done in UB Learns, as the syllabus states. I think you've had the syllabus for a while. I emailed that a couple weeks ago. If you looked over that, you should be good to go. I know some of you have emailed me with questions. That's been fine. So you'll have a lot of additional videos and short articles to read that will expand your reading of the chapter and my lecture on the chapter that will always be delivered to you, similar to this intro video for the class. What else? Your discussion board post, first one isn't due for a little over a week. We'll deal with that a little closer when we get there. Because for Chapter 1, I just want you to read and soak in Chapter 1 for now. You'll notice that UB Learns for this class looks kind of fancy. At least I think it's fancy. Because the textbook publisher gives me what they call a cartridge to load into UB Learns. And so what happens is basically they just upload lots of stuff in there for me and for you. So if you go into the textbook information bar, it has all the information you need about textbook access. So the physical copy can be bought at the UB bookstore, can also be ordered online. There are lots of different electronic versions you can order. Kindle, I think something for Android, different things for your tablets. So all of that information is on the textbook information tab in UB Learns. No one's emailing me questions about the textbook, but if you have questions, let me know and I'll help you out. Doing solely an electronic version is cheaper. And so unless you're a sociology major or minor, that might be the way to go in terms of what is most cost effective for you. Also, the textbook, the electronic version, has a lot of embedded links and videos, so it's a little more interactive to promote active learning. And so for that reason, I really suggest utilizing the electronic version as much as you can. What else? So, for the last minute or two, I'll tell you that sociology is largely about how the world works. We're going to think about things like social change, how the world changes, for good and bad. Social order, how it stays the same in many ways, how that's good and bad. The different subjective meanings, or what we call interpretivism, that people attach to social interaction. So, for example, one person smiles at you at a bar. One person is intrigued, excited, flattered. Another person is threatened, scared, fearful, insulted. And so there are different ways of interpreting behavior. And that really explains a lot of how the world works. Think of how much of society is based on not necessarily misunderstandings, but different understandings of the same experience. And so that's a big part of what sociology is. We'll talk about some big hot button topics: inequality, what in sociology we often call stratification, poverty, racism, segregation, big macro variables, what we call social structures, like religion, education, government, media. So sociology is about all the parts of life in the world, in the societies we live in, that we take for granted. And we're going to be thinking about them a little more deeply and a little more inquisitively. So the one thing you want to think about trying to take from this class is, what deeper forms of thinking have I taken out of this? Last thing, I've gotten a few emails about the pretest. So the pretest, I need you to do it. It's not part of your grade, but it'll really help you kind of get a feel for the course. And the pretest, what it does is basically it's for my department to assess how students are learning. So the first time you take it, the pretest, you expect scores to be low. Obviously, at the end of the class, you do the post-test, which can be a helpful exam review for you. They should be going up and way up. And if they don't, Then the department thinks about who teaches the class, how it's taught, what textbooks used, different teaching methods, smaller classes, larger classes. So it's just really a way of tracking how you're learning. But it'll give you a feel for some of the questions we'll be asking in this course. So I'll be sending you a link to that via email. And I'm looking forward to starting this class with you. I'll try to do the lectures in different spots in my apartment, other places, that way you're not staring at the same piece of IKEA furniture the entire 6 weeks you're with me. The gray in my beard really stands out prominently in this video. It's kind of embarrassing. Also, the United States women's national team just won the World Cup. I'm a huge soccer fan. So this is exciting. I was definitely at the bar earlier watching it, but I can guarantee you I was not drinking, because that would be unprofessional. But I was definitely celebrating. So, hooray to the US. They played Holland. If any of you are Dutch, I'm really sorry. I don't think I'm going to have any Dutch students. That's all I got for now. I'll be sending you stuff for Chapter 1 over the next day or so. Then we'll get into Chapter 2, which is when your due dates and kind of assignments really begin in earnest. And I think that's all we got. Any questions, email me. But this is a summer class. Most of you are probably pros by now with this kind of stuff. So that's it. Thanks for listening. Hope it wasn't too unbearable. And I'll talk to you soon.